So I'm here today with Sela Mduda. He's here to tell us more about the company Wakandi and their vision and what they're doing. Thank you so much for being here, Sela.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So tell me, why Wakandi? Why did you start Wakandi?
Yeah, so 3 4 years ago, I moved to Europe, to Norway with my wife and kids, and I had a job here. As most of the Africans, when you move to Europe, you always have to help back home. And everyone has, Africans have a tendency of sending money back home, helping someone to pay for the school fees, helping someone when someone died to pay for the funeral, or helping your parents buy something or build a house. So all these expenses, you contribute them from Europe, and using a bank to send this money is costing a fortune. And sometimes using other means of sending money to Africa, it's either risky or it's higher fees. So some of us sometimes we have to give money to someone, believing that he will deliver that cash in Africa, and maybe he's not delivering it, or maybe he got delayed somewhere, and the money doesn't arrive there on time. So I thought and said, like, there must be another way, another better way of doing this, which is less fees, much faster, and more security when delivering this money. So I sat down and thought that I could do something better for Africa. I can do better something for my people. And I sat down with one of my friends, Andreas Holman and Stian, and when we were talking, I told him that I have this idea and I want to develop it. I have done some research. I have done a little bit of it, and I want to do it on blockchain because of the good technology, and also because of the security. So we sat down and they said, if you want to do something in blockchain, there is something that we have already started, but this is only for Europe. It's a company called Ledge Farm. So you should meet with one of our investors, our partner. His name is Espen Kveland. He owns Akeo, and Akeo is one of the best developers of blockchain projects in Norway. So you should meet them. So when I met him and I gave him the whole idea, he was very impressed and very fascinated about the whole idea and how to go about it. But as you know, everyone is always taking all the measure when it comes to Africa. So we decided to go to Africa and study it. So that is how Wakanda started.
Wow, that's such a great story. So in all of that period of time since you first had the idea of Wakandi, what do you think the company's biggest achievement has been?
Wakandi's biggest achievement so far has been we have released our sandbox in that our partners have already started using it. Now we're in the pilot phase. We have already established our companies in 3 African countries: Tanzania, South Africa, and Gambia. We are ready to move into those countries beginning of January. We are starting our pilot phase beginning of March and or end of April. This sometimes depends with the licensing in some of the countries. So far we have managed to, from what the idea was of starting as a remittance company, all the way down to start to tackle the problem of the informal financial groups and these are unbanked. We have come up with a solution that's called Credit Association Management System. In short, we call it CAMS. This is the system that we are introducing in all these 3 countries that I've mentioned, that they're going to use for informal financial groups. So we have achieved quite a milestone for those few years that we have been developing our system, and we have been doing research at the time. And compared to the amount of people that have been involved, this is such a big achievement for the company.
You clearly have such a big vision for this company and a very clear direction in what you want to achieve and where you want to go. Do you think so far that the company has developed within your expectations?
Yes, the company has developed within our expectation and my expectation as well, because at the beginning, we were planning to launch a remittance system that will be able people to send and receive money easily anywhere in the world. But when we reached down and we tackled the problem, we realized that the problem is not only the remittance coming in. If people are not banked, how will you enable them to go and receive these remittances? So we have to tackle the problem from the ground. And the problem was most of the population is underbanked or unbanked. So we have to see how we can use our technology to digitalize this population, this society, to introduce them to the cashless society. So we have reached our expectation through digitalizing this informal financial groups.
So where do you see Wakandi in the future, in like 5 years' time? What do you see for Wakandi?
Uh, to see the future of this company is depending of how we have built our system. Our system, we have built it in a scalable way, so that it's not the system that we will use it in only one country. This is the system that we will use it in most of the sub-Saharan countries. We will use it in other developing countries. So our system is a scalable system, and this determine our future very much, because we will only grow and grow and grow in other African countries and other developing countries. So I see a bright future for Wakanda in this. And on top of that, not only that we have developed the best system in the world, but the people who are behind us, the partners, the shareholders of the companies, the families that are surrounding us. Personally, my wife and kids, they've been very supportive through this. So the people that are behind us are giving us more energy to determine the future of this country as well. So we see a great future for Wakanda with the system that we have developed. It's for people.
This is fascinating, Stella. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us all about Wakandi.
Thanks for having me here today, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.